Warning, the following video has flashing lights and also includes content that may be deemed inappropriate for some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. Dakota Darko from Hellhound Heights, and of course, Bigfoot's Barbershop, aka Brian Barber, have both found their way into the darkness of the Fox Den to awaken me from my slumber as we again go cryptid and creature of the night hunting. Absolutely delicious. I do appreciate the gifts. Sitting here sleeping for so long, sometimes I do lose valuable and precious nutrients. Now that Mr. Barber and Mr. Darko have released me from my shackles and revamped my power source, it is time to take a walk into the madness.
Stood up. I said, oh my god, it's a werewolf, and everybody in the car freaked out.
My creatures of the night. Yes, once again, you are tuning in to Midnight Lycanthropy here on LordeStarfox Radio. We have Dakota Darko from Hellhound Heights, and of course, Bigfoot's Barbershop, aka Brian Barber, already sitting around the fire in the Fox Den as we once again burn the timber into the early hours of the morning. I would like to hear how Mr. Barber is doing tonight.
Doing pretty good. Just relaxing, enjoying a Sunday afternoon.
Great stuff, my guy. Dakota from Hellhound Heights, my friend. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm absolutely positively in the best mindset I can be in.
Beautiful stuff right there. Give yourself a plug. Also, if you'd like to give a little bit of a background as to what's caused you interest.
Well, to be honest with you, since I was a kid, I've been really super sensitive, as they call it. Growing up, I always had a fear of horror movies and scary things in general. One of the movies I was scared of as a child was Underworld, and they came out with number 3, which is Rise of the Lycans. And in that movie, it really spooked me as a kid, man. Just because how real it was at that time. Anyway, I kind of got captured by the whole idea of lycanthropes in general. Just because what could be more terrifying than an apex predator that runs bipedally with human digits as hands and long extended torsos, track you and smell you from a mile away, whether you have no scent on or not. And, it's just a really amazing creature to study. Truly it is. And then I kind of got caught with the phenomenon more and more. A couple years ago down the path, I'm living in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. I just had this really bad feeling one day. And there was an incident that happened. The neighbor, I have nothing nice to say about them, started getting the idea, okay, I'm going to capture video and prove that this dog is not capable of hurting anybody. And they said that our dog had jumped the fence, which was not true at all. He was a very sweet dog, very sweet. There was just nothing in him that would harm you on purpose. There was just nothing there as far as primally. Anyway, I decided that one day I'm going to start recording. I got this gut feeling, man, and I started recording, and I was like, in the video, I started seeing that dog on the backside of the fence. And he wasn't just on the backside of the fence. He's running, he's trotting. But the weird part is he keeps stopping in this spot. And he'll start panicking and shivering and looking in this bush, man. And just to give you a little bit of backstory of the area, we have, I don't know if you'd call it a flock or migration or what, but we had 12 deer that were in a herd, and they would get fed up the street. So these people up the street would put sweet corn out for the deer. And I noticed that the deer, they kept getting more comfortable and more comfortable and more comfortable. But then one day I went right outside of Fort Leonard Wood is a place called St. Robert. And I went looking for Dogman. I never caught any of it on camera or took physical proof. But there is actually an NADP map where off of 17 Highway near St. Robert, Missouri, there was an encounter. It was actually on 97.7, the Talon, I think it's what it's called, where there was this really real encounter with this Dogman. So I went out there looking, Anyway, come to the video. I had been searching, and I'd been feeling like I'm getting closer and closer to getting the truth, getting to see what I've always wanted to see, So that day I started recording. I was describing how angry I was at the neighbors. Anyway, I caught that 110-pound pit bull at the neighbor's house. I caught it running, and it stopped and stared in that bush, and you can tell it's making eye contact, looking something right in its face. And it's almost as if I could see that dog go pale, and it was this really, really intense feeling where there was just something different in the atmosphere. And as you can tell in the video, it is about 2 to 4 p.m. It's fall. I started seeing something, man, and I would only see it almost microscopic movements, and it was just something different. And I started rolling, and as I'm filming, I noticed that there's a slight movement in the bush. At one point, when the pit bull walks right by him, from what I can tell, it was an aggressive, quick attack. It missed, and the pit bull had noticed as it was running away. And then you can see it come back. And as it comes back, it looks face to face, and then it starts trying to play with the dog on the other side of the fence. And about that time, you see a white flash in the film. Now, that white flash is 2 5-foot long, black fur, 5-digit clawed dogman-like arms reach up out of the bush real super fast and wrap this 110-pound pit bull up, and almost like he was trying to DDT him. He put one arm around the top of his chest. He yanked that pit bull into that bush, and it's almost like it muted it when it went through that bush, because you can hear it smack the leaves and hard. You can just like and crush the branches instantly. You see a little bit of movement in the video during that time, and that is the Dogman back there with that pit bull, just toying with it. But what I believe happened is that lycanthrope, the Dogman, I believe that he is a guardian to that pack of deer. And when I noticed some of them start to go missing, things started getting really weird around. And by that, I mean the atmosphere was different. And then one of the deer comes back one day, and it only has 3 legs. I don't know how to describe it. It's like all of nature just changed, and it just got really windy for days on end. And then when I was recording that video, something just told me there's something out there, and it is ready to do whatever it takes or whatever it wants to prove the point that it has. And in the video, you notice that the pit bull gets thrown about 4 feet off the ground through the bush back out, and it hits the ground, and immediately it panics. And there's this deer on the left side of the screen. There's a doe, and it pops out of nowhere. And I mean literally out of nowhere. And it's a pretty decent size younger doe. I'd probably say it's about 100, 120 pounds maybe. So a pretty decent sized deer, and it just pops out of nowhere, and it's caught right there on film, and that pit bull just freaks, and he climbs the fence, and he runs right back up to the porch, and you can see the whole thing in the video, especially if you slow it down. It's a little digitalized. I was running on a cheap Android phone when I was recording, um, because there's something that's never been caught before on film. There's no interaction like it on the internet at all. The closest you get is dogs disappearing on a trail, and you can hear them screaming in the distance. No, this is something we caught right there live in person. And for me, it piqued my excitement so bad I wanted to go jump in the bush myself to see what would happen. It was just like, man, I gotta get in there. I gotta get in there. I gotta see this. So I ended up stopped recording, and I went out there after I was recording, and I took some little stakes out there. And the craziest thing is I opened the package, I left them in the package and I separated them. They're about little pork chop size steaks, and they don't get touched at all. I mean, no flies, no maggots, no worms, no raccoons, all of these things that are in large portions in the area. The craziest part about it is in the video, you can tell everything goes silent right before the attack. In the video, it happened so fast. But when I was watching it in person, I thought I had gotten 15 minutes full of film, and really it's only about 2.5 minutes. Nowadays, because of that experience, I do a lot of teaching about cryptids, especially the Dogman. And I try to make sure that people are fully engaging with it the right ways and not the wrong ways, so we don't end up with more missing people. Because that's the most important reason why I've contacted the NADP originally, was because I wanted to hunt this thing down. At first, I was so angry. I wanted to hunt it down, but then over time, I kept reviewing the footage and talking with Jody and talking with Lance Hightower from Monster 911, and some other YouTubers, and eventually I come to the conclusion that this thing's a guardian, man. I really noticed things are getting weird, and it's getting closer and closer and closer. It's a very different feeling when you encounter something like this. You can almost smell it. There's a muskiness in the air, and I'm not talking like that wet dog smell like a lot of people describe. I never smelled that. Never, not once. And I even went out there smelling for it, Like I said, I went out there to try to poke the bear just a little bit after I stopped recording. And for nights on end after that, I would sit outside, and I got bluff charged from less than 20 meters, and I couldn't see it at all. All I could see was a black flash. And I heard a deep guttural growl that I could feel through the floorboards of the wood back porch, and really it's a quite humbling experience. So this really provoked on a big thing. I wanted to become the next cryptozoology channel. I wanted to be a part of the NADP. A year later, I am finally part of the NADP. I have the honor of working with guys like you two, and Jody and Lance Hightower. You guys are all a bunch of good guys, very smart, very educated. You guys have helped me a lot. In fact, I wouldn't even have the equipment that I have, what little equipment I have to record, if it wasn't for you guys. So I'm very appreciative of that. It quickly became a passion of mine to follow cryptozoology and folklore and legends and, just mythology. I started really doing a lot of research, and I found that lycanthropes of both forms date back to before 1200 BC in recorded human history. And that's a crazy thing to think of, because, and this is in different cultures, they're describing the same type of beast, the same type, down to a T. But yeah, as far as the video and lycanthropy on its own, its hobby, honestly, I research it like no other. The Dogman phenomenon is one of the most unapproached cryptid situations, unless you're really in the cryptid world. You'll see Sasquatch everywhere. You'll see werewolves everywhere occasionally, but you never hear of what's called a dogman or a skinwalker. And as cryptozoologists and people that believe in the paranormal, I truly 100% believe that we have a responsibility to find, prove, and show the world the existence of this thing for science. And we still have to respect this earth and everything on it. And humans, we are a very greedy species, and we've destroyed this planet. And eventually, Mother Nature's going to take us back. And lycanthropy might be part of that taking it back, and other cryptids too. So this become my driving force. It's something scientifically important to me, but that's all I got for all that.
Great stuff right there, man. Thanks for sharing all that and enlightening everybody. I knew the majority of that because I've been speaking to you for a while and you've kept me updated on everything. Yeah, I know Mr. Barber has not heard any of that, and I would like to see what he thinks about everything, including the video, and if he has any questions for you.
I think the video is really cool. It didn't just get picked up. That pit bull got snatched. I saw in person a raccoon get snatched by a Bigfoot from behind a tree that, disappeared in seconds. And there's a video of a deer on a YouTube channel somewhere that the deer is on the trail cam, and all of a sudden the deer's gone. You can see the head get yanked. And so to see that happen, and now knowing the size of the dog is like, whatever's in there is not human, that's for sure. I mean, the video pretty much with his explanation speaks for itself. It's definitely nothing human in that video. It's nobody in a suit. I don't know anybody who can snatch 110 like that quickly. I mean, that's a lot of you got to generate a lot of force to do that, and there's just Brian Shaw's not going to generate that. It's going to take him a minute to grab a hold of it and pick it up, and that dog just disappears, let alone get launched too.
Yeah, that's some straight up gnarly stuff right there for sure. All great observations. Barber, do you have any questions that you would like to ask Dakota about everything he had spoke about or the video before we see if Dakota has any questions for us or anything else you would like to speak about tonight, eh?
When exactly did you start looking for the Dogman, I guess?
Well, truly, what inspired me originally was Mr. Ballin's podcasts. And truly, it was an inspiration to me. That's just exactly what really enticed me to go out there and do something like, for example, at the time I had seen, Paranormal State and Ghost Hunters and all things like that. But you never see them go out to look for the real cryptids. Apparition here, apparition there, and a bunch of it's staged, some of it's real. However, no one has really went out there and faced their absolute darkest of darkest fears and look it in the face. And I have always been that kind of person in my heart, where I don't care how scary it is. I don't care who's not doing it because they don't feel like they're safe enough. I'm going to be that guy that pushes that limit. And in the cryptozoology world, that's exactly what we need. We definitely have to have people that really push the limit, really go out there and really just put their all into this. And I want to be able to go out there and hunt cryptids, learn about them. Dogman seems to be the most super of naturals to me. And the one thing that really spooked me the most personally, it's just one of those things, man. It's like, I understand that your thing is Bigfoot, right? Like you were just talking about with the raccoon getting snatched up. There's just absolutely incredible encounters waiting to happen. And for me, that's Dogman.
In your opinion, two-part question for you. What do you think we're actually dealing with as far as, is it physical, spiritual, supernatural, paranormal, and what's it going to take to, as far as evidence?
Well, to be exact, it will always be a cryptid, whether we prove it or not. As far as paranormal, supernatural, I don't know how much I believe about it just vanishing into dust. I've heard things like that. I don't really believe that, to be honest with you. What I believe in my heart is that it is a natural thing. It is the top of the line. It is that one thing that we will strive and strive and strive to chase, just like Bigfoot. There are very few people who are really willing to put themselves in a dangerous situation, um, and especially going unarmed. Personally, I would rather go armed. Um, I believe they're if not as smart, then they're smarter than us. And their instincts, primally, I believe that they are the top of the food chain. There's nothing that can come close to it. The type of stalking and hunting that it does, how it lays flat against the ground where you can't see it until you're stepping on it, and then it gets you. But it's very important. Obviously, we founded a whole foundation around this cryptid now, and we are currently seeking evidence. And in my video, it's something that should have never been seen by human eyes. And I was just lucky enough to be right there at the right time. And as far as supernaturally or paranormally, absolutely, it can be considered supernatural. However, I don't think it just vanishes like they say it do. I believe that hides and it's so fast that you can't see it run off, because when you go to blink, it's gone. You know, by time you're done blinking, this thing is the top of the food chain, and if we're not careful, we'd absolutely become the next missing person that never gets found.
Great stuff right there, man. Very interesting, very intriguing, very creepy for sure. Well, I would like to thank my co-host, Mr. Barber, for sitting down with us tonight and diving into this very intriguing topic in video. Any final thoughts, Mr. Barber?
Other than to say thank you to Dakota for sharing that. I mean, it's an amazing video to sit there and watch and be able to see that unfold. Is, well, to me, the topic of Dogman is where Bigfoot was 30 years ago, as far as just now starting to gain some steam and popularity and okay to talk about. So it's videos like this and the LBL thermal footage that are gonna make it even more acceptable. So thanks for being out there and doing all the hard work and research, Dakota.
Beautiful stuff right there. And yes, thanks for hanging out with us tonight, Dakota. Your link will be up in the description. So will Mr. Barber's. To the audience, do head over and check out both of their threads for sure. Any final thoughts or things you would like to say tonight, Mr. Darko, before we do allow you to get back to things you need to attend to?
Well, I gotta say, a big, huge thank you for having me a part of this and really taking the time to talk with me. It's something that truly makes a difference in this community. It makes a difference in my personal life and in my personal heart, my personal mind. Um, and you guys might not know it, but this is going to be the first real episode that I post onto my YouTube, and I ask everybody to please go check it out, like, subscribe, comment, share the link. I'm only at like 13 subscribers right now. I've got a bunch of shorts made. I've got some content I've pre-made for the audio. Honestly, this is a huge deal to me. It really is. And I've started this with literally nothing, and I've scraped and clawed to get here. And in this moment, this is one of the most realist moments for me.
Ooh, my legends, you creatures of the night, I do adore every single one of you. And thank you for hanging out tonight. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the truth to the algorithm. And remember, there are things that go bump in the night that are much worse than any vampire you will ever